Hello everyone. Welcome to the webinar Go Digital, Grow Business, Winning Customers in a Digital World, powered by Google. I now invite Mr. Kumar Rajagopalan, Chief Executive Officer, Retailers Association of India, to set the context for the webinar.
We all know that the pandemic has redefined the retail businesses, maybe permanently. The fact that many retailers were not able to open their stores for some time, which for many of them was the first ever time in their lives, created new need for invention for most of them. Invention is essential and change is essential to handle any kind of environmental factors. Most of the retailers have started getting digital, and this, I believe, is one of the best things that could have happened thanks to the pandemic. We all knew that digital is the way forward. It's been years since we've been talking about it, but when the pandemic did hit, many retailers realized that the only way they could keep connected with their consumers, their suppliers, and their various service providers was by going digital. Consumers were going digital even faster than the retailers, and this forced retailers to adopt new strategies. My belief is that many of the retailers would continue with this digital thought process. They would connect with their consumers, and they realized that now consumers can shop with them 24/7, even if their physical stores are not open 24/7. Retailers also realized that they could deal with their vendors, their suppliers, their service providers, and various designers, etc., on digital means, and thereby make sure that their business continued. Welcome to the world of digital connectivity. I do believe that every retailer should adopt digital in a much more open manner so that they can make the digital capabilities their best friend all through their retailing lives. Welcome to this seminar, thanks to the support by Google. I now hand it over to Hitesh to take the seminar ahead. Welcome.
Welcome to this webinar of Go Digital, Grow Business, Winning Customers in the Digital World, powered by Google. I take this pleasure to introduce the power-packed panelists that we have got with us today. We have got Kaushik Dasgupta, Group Head, Insights and Partnerships, Google India. We have got Mohandeep Singh, Senior Vice President, Sales and Retail Marketing, Samsung Mobiles. Mohandeep Singh, Senior VP at Samsung India Electronics, heads Sales and Retail for Samsung Offline Business, with over 24 years of rich experience across sales, operations, retail. He has played a crucial role in transforming the retail landscape for the mobile business in India. We have with us Saurabh Kapadia, Head of Industry Technology, Google India. Saurabh has over 16 years of experience in brand building and business development across media and technology, committed to deliver insights and solutions that help brands achieve their business objectives. He is passionate about digitizing Indian retail and helping local tech B2B build footprints across the globe. He has worked towards digitizing retail for hardware, and today over 6,000 brand and affiliate stores are discovered online via Google and equipped to deliver shopping experience. He also spearheads the best-in-class product partnerships between Google and the leading OEMs. And last but not the least, we have got Subhash Chandra, Managing Director, Sangeeta Mobiles Private Limited. He has been on the retail scene for over 40 years and selling mobile phones for almost 2 decades. He is also the president of the Bangalore Mobile Retailers Association. A Delhi-based Institute of Economic Studies conferred him the IES Udyog Ratan Award. Sangeeta Mobiles has largely been a brick and a mortar success story. Today, Sangeeta Mobiles, driven by a strong team of over 4,000 passionate people, they have more than 650 stores and counting across 6 states with a strong customer base of 30 million plus. With this, I would hand over the next part of this presentation by Kaushik Dasgupta, Group Head, Insights and Partnerships, Google India. Over to Kaushik.
Thank you so much. Let me quickly bring the screen up. Thank you, and hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you. It has indeed been a challenging year for all of us. Not only we had to adjust as businesses, but as individuals, all of us had to change the way we go about our daily lives. As Google, we are seeing how digital is becoming increasingly important to individuals and companies alike. Today, I will share with you a few of the large trends we are seeing across the ever-changing digital ecosystem and hope you find it useful as you plan your company's digital journey. Let me start by sharing some trends that will help you understand how the digital ecosystem in India is evolving and how this in turn is changing the needs of the Indian consumer. You'd have heard this before. Digital is truly the gateway to future. With the pandemic, we are seeing rapid adoption of digital across the world, and more so in India. India has more than 50 crore internet users today, and a similar number is expected to be viewing a video by end of this year. As per Comscore, YouTube has already reached more than 325 million or 32.5 crore adults in India in May 2020. That's almost 83% of the online adult population. This means not only is the Indian consumer becoming digital first, but it's also becoming video first. We all know how when Jio launched in 2016, it triggered a rapid growth in data consumption. The massive reduction in mobile data prices over the last few years has led to 18x data consumption, and the growth continues 4 years hence. We added more than 10 crore smartphone users in the last 2 years, and the data consumption grew by 33% at a per capita level. The big change is that the growth pocket is also changing. New user growth is being driven from outside urban India. As more and more Indians have access to internet and smartphones, the average time spent on smartphone is also increasing. If you look at the chart here, with COVID, smartphones have become even more central to individuals and families. In the last 4 months, we saw a rapid growth in consumption. When the lockdown was at its peak, consumers were spending close to 4 hours per day. Since then, average time on smartphones has now settled at around 3 hours and 30 minutes. As the trend continues, we expect that 70 crore Indians will be using a smartphone by 2022, and almost 90 crore Indians will be connected to the internet by 2025. As mentioned earlier, many of the new users will come not just from metro cities, but from non-metro cities and rural parts of India. Currently, India is the 5th largest economy in the world. It is believed by 2030, India will be the 3rd largest economy globally, and we will have 100 crore users online. So what does it mean for you as a business? Let's first try to understand how smartphone consumers behave when it comes to buying a smartphone. Research plays an important role at each and every stage of the smartphone buyer's consumer journey. Almost 7 out of 10 buyers research before purchase. 6 of every 10 use a digital touchpoint. The research behavior increases as they move closer to the actual purchase. 7 out of 10 use a digital touchpoint while at a store. It does not end there. Smartphone consumers continue to engage even post-purchase through reviews, testimonials, and service-related or accessory needs. 6 of every 10 use a digital platform post-purchase. Of even the smartphone buyers who buy offline, 1 in every 3 offline buyers also go online to find a retailer. While many of them do lean in on referrals or word-of-mouth acquaintances, they use search engines, online ads, brand websites, or retailer websites to discover their retailer. In recent months, we've observed that Indian smartphone users or potential buyers have been searching heavily for unboxing content online. There has been a 67% growth in unboxing related searches since unlock. As people are hesitant to step into stores, they prefer watching content from the safety of their homes. Similarly, there has been a rise in review-related searches. Consumers rely on reviews and testimonials of other smartphone buyers and professionals to gather information while researching for the next smartphone purchase. There has been more than 200% growth in searches for near me queries, which is an indicative of high consumer intent to visit a retailer close to their location. COVID has changed the way consumers shop today. In a recent survey we did along with Ipsos, 82% of consumers said that the way they shop today versus pre-COVID has changed. Owing to increased concern around health and safety, consumers have become much more cautious. They are spending less time in store, which means their expectations to complete their shopping list in one go would be much higher. At the same time, the consumers continue to be curious. They not only want to know which are the stores, what and how are they following social distancing practices, but also want to know more about the purchase they plan to do. They are now relying on digital even more across their entire purchase journey. Let's start with product discovery. 73% of consumers said they would like to discover the product online instead of going to a store. This also highlighted the point we discussed earlier that they would like to minimize the time in store and would shift most of the research online. Coming to the inventory check, 52% consumers searching online to check whether the product they're planning to buy is in stock or not. And for brands and retailers, it becomes absolutely critical to provide the consumers with this information and reduce their outside visit. According to our survey, 80% or 4 of every 5 consumers are seeking a contactless experience. This was higher, this was higher than other global countries surveyed and probably a reflection of COVID cases as well. Essentially, Indian consumers, that is your smartphone buyer, is more likely to spend a lot more time on planning and browsing online than in store. As a result, over the last few months, consumers are also more willing to switch to other brands or retailers. We've seen new brands are entering the consumer's basket. The best way to show for consumers at this point is to build and communicate clear differentiators and meet the changing expectations. This is also an opportunity for retailers like you to win consumer love. As per another consumer sentiment survey conducted by Google, in spite of COVID, 1 in every 5 consumers stated they intend to buy a smartphone in the next few months. This intent was relatively higher in the cases of salaried individuals, metro consumers, and younger age group. Interestingly, even NCCS C&D consumers ranked higher than average. 1 of every 2 of the smartphone intenders also mentioned they would like to make the purchase in the next 6 months, which is here and now. While consumers are extremely digitized, research heavily online, and want to spend less time in a retail store, however, please know, more than 60% or 3 out of 5 potential buyers would prefer to purchase a smartphone offline. A similar number of potential smartphone buyers are also likely to spend the same or more compared to pre-COVID times on a smartphone purchase. As I conclude, I would leave you with a typical consumer journey of a smartphone buyer. Let's take up an example of a consumer who wants to gift a phone to his or her mother. The journey will take him from discovering, reading, watching a video, engaging with the store on a video call to confirm availability, offers, book and pick it up, and as post-purchase, connect back to solve any post-purchase issues. This shows how digital is assisting the consumer in every step of their journey and how you as a retailer and a brand need to be present along with your consumer. In the end, I would like to leave you with 3 key messages. Know your consumer and their evolving expectations. Number 2, assist and be present always. Have a more omni-channel approach. And last but not the least, engage with them through the differentiation and personalized experiences. We tried to share a glimpse of the connected smartphone buyer. I hope you found these insights useful as you plan your digital journey. With that, I hand it over to Hitesh. Thanks you again for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Kaushik. That was indeed a very insightful presentation. 3 things that is a takeaway for all of us, at least. Know your consumers, be present and engage. I think this was the crux of the whole presentation, and definitely digital is the future for all the mobile retailers going ahead. With this, we'll move to the next section of our webinar, and we'll start with the question and answer sessions with the panelists. My first question goes to Saurabh. And Saurabh, can you give us a sense of the initiatives that Google has taken or will take to enable the digitalization of retailers?
Sure. Hitesh, firstly, thanks for having me. And I just want to say that I'm really glad to be on this esteemed panel with MS and Subhashji. And hello to all the dealer and retailer friends who've joined us today. Thank you for your time. Coming to your question, Hitesh, Google has always been committed to building very robust digital ecosystem in India, and more so in these challenging times. Take, for example, our recently launched Google for India Digitization Fund. We committed an investment of almost 75,000 crores in India for three main purposes. Firstly, to make the internet affordable for over 1 billion Indians. Secondly, to improve voice input and computing in all Indian languages. And thirdly, very importantly, to support a whole new generation of Indian entrepreneurs. It is in this third piece where we concentrate on enabling our dealer and retailer fraternity also to kind of move online and leverage this new opportunity within the changing consumerism pattern of India. Then we also have this Grow with Google initiative, under which we launched the Namaste Digital program, where we actually partnered with like-minded companies to help grow the dealer fraternity or the retailer fraternity online. So take, for example, our partnership with Zoho. Google facilitates retailers and SMBs through its network to get online, and Zoho helps them with the execution by offering them, a 3-month subscription free of cost for their own customized website to use its inventory management tools, for CRM that can be used for better sales and customer planning, inventory management, etc. We also help close the loop with conversions and payments via Google Pay and fulfillment via delivery partners. In these remote circumstances, I would say that this has helped hundreds of businesses come online and across categories to fulfill consumer demand. Finally, I think coming to the smartphone piece, let me say that over the years we have worked with large OEMs like Samsung to today ensure that over 6,000 OEM brand stores are discoverable online via Google My Business, which offers real-time info about store address, working hours, etc. If I may also add, it is not just the largest OEM, but also amongst the most sophisticated dealers like Sangeeta Mobile that have leveraged this local listing opportunity to be discoverable to their potential consumers as and when the consumers have looked for them. Besides this, we have developed a cataloging format that helps showcase your offerings under Google Shopping, a broad variety of products that may be available in store or can be showcased through Google Shopping, and which in turn actually is linked to your website or to your direct store to offer an end-to-end solution. If we go beyond the regular format of search, even on the new platforms like video, let's talk about YouTube, for example, which is amongst the fastest growing and the largest digital video platform today in India. We offer different solutions to be discoverable and to engage with the potential consumer as and when they are looking for you. Finally, when it comes to fulfillment, I already spoke about the contactless or cashless option that we offer via Google Pay. So yes, these are some of the initiatives that we've been working on and we continue to work on.
Awesome, Saurabh. That was indeed very insightful. 6,000 stores of Samsung, helping in online discovery, and hyperlocal search for Sangeeta Mobile's partnership with Zoho, cataloging, etc. All these things that you mentioned indeed are adding value to the retailers also, and definitely I think it also adds a lot of value to the consumers to make their choices more easier and get their choices more seamlessly discovered. Yeah. So with that, I would like to move to now Mohandeep Singh, and from a Samsung's perspective, how has your approach or exclusive channel strategy changed in these times, and what has been the response from the channel on the new strategy? If you can throw some light on this, MS.
Yeah, thanks for your question, Hitesh. Just before I get into the specific answer to your question, I think Kaushik, a great presentation. What is heartening is that whatever you've shared in terms of data, we all expected that, but we probably were not able to quantify the way Kaushik has been able to quantify, and that's very helpful. I think inanely most of our retail partners, they were moving towards solution finding the way Kaushik described. But I'm sure with this kind of an information at hand, the conviction on that direction will only improve, and hence action would definitely improve. Having said that, I think as a background, COVID has changed consumer behavior, and we must acknowledge that. And there are different expectations when it comes to, if I want to get into retail space, I have very different set of expectations today than what I had before. And I think that's essentially what we have tried to handle when we talk about what our approach has been and how it has changed from before. Frankly, there are two key legs to our change in the approach. First and foremost is the fact that we had to make sure that the retail environment is the most safe retail environment for the consumer. Now, the change is not enough in itself, that you change your environment and you do deep cleaning and you do, sanitization. It is very important that consumer perceives it so. So one, we did change a lot of things in terms of our store operating processes, where we made sure that the store is cleansed and so on and so forth. But more importantly, we also had a marketing campaign where we said we care for you. And we tried to bring that information to the consumer that now a Samsung store is a very safe environment for the consumer to walk in, take a demo, make the choice, buy the phone and so on and so forth. So I think two legs to that itself, that one, you have to make sure that your environment is safe. Two, you have to communicate. Also to, some of our dealer friends who have joined this webinar, I would like to say that in the store, it is very important that the safety is physically manifested. We need to do everything to make sure that the consumer is safe, and then physically it should get manifested. For example, markings on the floor to make sure that social distancing can be made and so on and so forth. I think these small initiatives go in building the trust towards the store from the consumer angle. So that's one that we did. The second thing that we did across is we created a omni-channel kind of a capability for largest set of our retail partners, so that, retailers can reach out to the consumer at the comfort of their home and not only detail out a product, but do a demo, ensure that the payments can happen, ship a product to the home of the consumer. So these are the two directions that we took. Safety and security of our consumers, and secondly, an omni-channel approach for our retailers. Needless to say that the response has been fantastic, and I think the retailers have really lapped that up. Like I said, intuitively, they knew this is the direction to take. But with Kaushik, throwing all the data about how important it is going to be for future, I think the movement towards that is going to only accelerate.
Thank you, Mohandeep. That was really, action to the point, because this is what was required. The two strategies that you mentioned, one was the omni-channel capability building, and the other one was the safety, hygiene, SOP from the consumer's perspective. So with this, I would like to move to Subhash Ji and ask him this question as per Sangeeta's perspective. Today's consumer is digital and with marketplaces around. How have you managed to hold the fort? And what are your thoughts on the D2C model? Subhash Ji, you are mute. Kindly unmute, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. So nice to have invited me to be part of this session, and definitely for guys of my generation, there's a lot to take home. Especially with Google and all the tech-related things, there's always a lot to work on. Okay. So the question is, today's consumer is digital, and how are you managing? How are you able to cope up? Yes, absolutely. With the COVID happening, the consumer who was already digital to some extent has only fast forwarded that. But having said that, yes, Sangeeta's strength has been offline retail, physical retail. So Sangeeta's strength has been the trust that it has built over the last 4 decades plus in all the areas that we are operational, that is primarily south of India. And Sangeeta's differentiating factors that we have built over the last many years in terms of pre and post purchase of a mobile phone, that the customer can have absolute peace of mind with regards to just in case there is a price drop, which is very common in our industry, and in case he drops the phone and the display were to break, or if he puts it into if it falls in water, all these value-added services that we initiated, some of them way back in 1997 itself, using an insurance company. Over a period of time, what we have realized is that the customer delight was somewhere getting affected with the insurance companies not living up to the mark, or somewhere a genuine claim not being settled or being rejected. So in the last 5 years, all these, instead of calling them insurance, we have called them assurance, and we have made them in-house, and we have made it 100% of our claims get approved over the counter in a flat 15 minute. In fact, for a screen replacement customer, we even provide pickup and drop service. We go to their customer's doorstep and pick it up, have it replaced, and the TAT is just 7 days if the customer is living in a tier 1 city. So even tier 2 city customers, we are offering the pickup and drop for the display replacement with 15-day TAT. If it's a liquid damage, over the counter, a brand new phone is offered wherein the customer pays only 50%, the rest of the 50% is taken care by Sangeeta. So these are some of the few value-added services that we have very strongly built, and thereby, we have been able to cope up and ensure that our shares are not dropping in the physical stores. Like to like, we in business, we always compare last month to this month, last year to this year. So we ensure that there is no fall, and we ensure that there is at least a marginal growth. Having said that, yes, today's consumer is there in the digital space, and Sangeeta as an entity, however strong you are in the physical space, cannot be left behind in the digital space. So therefore, our presence is very much there. Our spends in terms of marketing is also growing by the day in the digital area, and we are trying our best to get stronger in our e-commerce space, wherein some of our customers who want to shop from the comfort of their home are able to shop. In fact, some of the initiatives that we have done post-COVID have been that the customer can actually book an appointment. He can book a time slot. He can tell what model he is looking for. So therefore, in case that particular store which is closest to him, even if it is not having the stock, it would keep the stock, and it would, so that there is no crowd at the store. And we have the, the customer get the best experience because he's booked his, pre-booked his slot. Recently, we have even taken it further one step by, we have just started, this is work in progress, where we want to go to the customer's place. So customer can, from the comfort of his home, he can book an appointment, and our person, our mobile expert can go there with the phones and with an EDC machine. And today, even the finance options can be by and large done on the phone. So, mostly it is paperless. So all these things, these are some of the areas where we are trying to cope up with the digital customer. And parallelly, we are trying to get our online act also stronger by the day.
Getting your online act stronger by the day, giving assurance instead of insurance, pick up and drop service, digital marketing, increasing the e-commerce space and value-added services. Subhashji, you are there, and I know there are many more such initiatives and innovations that you have been doing and will be doing. So kudos to you, and this is the reason that you are a 650 plus retail outlet brand. So with this, I would like to move to again, MS Mohandeep ji, and there is an audience question for you. We can, ask. This question goes like this: how has your marketing strategy evolved in the post-COVID era? I mean, we would like to know more about, the marketing strategy part of it, MS.
Okay. So, Hitesh, like we've already mentioned that COVID has been a big change for all of us. And, it has led to a lot of consumer behavior change. And, if I were to look at marketing and three important things from a consumer's, and I think somewhere Kaushik did express it in a slightly different manner. But let's say the consumer wants to first seek information or awareness is the first thing. And then it moves to experiencing the phone, evaluating, and then buying the phone. I think these are the three stages in the, the buying cycle of a consumer. Now, if I were to talk about awareness itself, for example, the consumer behavior, the media consumption has changed. Just to give you an example, cinema has changed to OTT. Okay. And our core marketing has always been to be where the consumer is. So we have to follow the consumer wherever the consumer goes. Just to give you an example, for example, the outdoor media has moved to residential places now as compared to commercial, because more and more consumers are staying within the vicinity of their houses rather than really move around. So if I were to talk about awareness, accordingly, we have changed the vehicles for ensuring that the consumer knows what product propositions are available in the retail for the consumer. So given the behavior change on how the consumer is looking at finding out, seeking out, discovering the product, we've changed that. Also, something that you asked Subhashji, and he very eloquently gave you an answer about how to handle digital consumers. So today the consumer is seeking much more information on online space. And the fact that, we need to be present all along in the online space. Just as an example, all our catalogs have become e-catalogs. We've started to give video demonstrations of the product, video detailing of the product. So from a consumer perspective, ensuring that we are able to satisfy the need of the consumer to understand the product in whatever places that the consumer is now seeking that information is the first leg to the marketing overall approach. The other is, as far as the experience is concerned, we talk about untagged marketing. Unlike contact, it is untagged, so with minimal contact and virtual experiences, touch-free experience. So for example, QR codes at a store to get further information. Even if you do not want to really touch a demo phone, you can use a QR code and you can get more information. We've integrated e-invoices on a WhatsApp platform. So you don't have to have a physical invoice. We've integrated WhatsApp to provide e-invoices to the consumers. So these are some of the things that we've done across, if I were to talk specifically, not just broader marketing perspective, but actions taken from a marketing standpoint vis-a-vis the retail. So untagged experience in the store, how can we improve the untagged experience in the stores? Again, I did mention about omni-channel, and one of the important legs even in marketing would be how you finally ensure that the consumer is able to see the product, touch the product, evaluate the product. So, and omni-channel somewhere also comes in play here. For example, we initiated a home demo concept. So a consumer can, request for a demo, and our store would reach the consumer's place along with a demo and provide a demo and experience at the home, delivery at home, appointment-based shopping in the store. I think these are some of the things that we initiated to make sure that the consumer also feels safe while is in the purchase journey for the mobile. So I think these are some of the things that we have done, and this is how marketing. And I'm not talking about the classical marketing. I'm staying focused on the agenda at hand as the consumer preference and behavior changes and becomes more inclined towards digital, becomes more inclined towards safety and so on and so forth. What is it that we can do in our offline retail from various angles to build our business to stay strong in the offline retail? So I think these are some of the things that we've done, and we will continue to do even more initiatives to make sure that we are able to reach out to the maximum amount of consumers without compromising on the kind of services that Subhashji mentioned. So can we deliver all these services to the consumer in the new environment, in the new normal?
Awesome, Mohandeep ji. This was, the crux is going where the consumer is, and getting that untapped marketing experience in the store, and many other things that you mentioned. I think these are the turning points. These are some of the strategies that you shared with us during the post-COVID era. And the same, there is another audience question for Subhashji, and that is, how has Sangeeta adopted in these times? Can you speak about your initiatives to meet consumer expectations, Subhashji?
Well, Hitesh, I actually touched upon some of them in my previous, when I was answering the previous question. As Mohandeep also mentioned, one is, the safety and the security of the customer was absolutely no compromise, right from marking where the customer is going to stand to, in fact, one of the things that I wanted to mention, again, he did touch upon, which is the e-invoice. We introduced the e-invoice during this time. And as I mentioned, you can book your time slot, book your appointment, and for me, even to think of it, it sounds somewhat crazy. Having been in a retail store all my life, last 38 years, to imagine or visualize a customer calling or placing an appointment on your website, confirming what model he wants to buy and which store he wants to visit and what time he wants to go there. It was something when my son Chandu suggested about it initially on May 4th, when the lockdown was relaxed and the stores got opened. I was like, you are dragging it too much, or you are trying to do too much. I don't think it is required. But over a period of next couple of weeks, I saw various brands, various tech brands. Like for example, Apple was explaining about it in one of their presentations, and in the newspapers every day we were reading about more and more retailers going this route of asking the customer to book his slot, etc. So these are some of the things apart from our value-added services like assured buyback and stuff like that. Refer a friend and get extra incentives. Of course, these things do not have anything to do with COVID, pre-COVID or post-COVID. It's in our DNA to keep inventing and keep coming out with new initiatives and questioning ourselves as to why Sangeeta. There are thousands of stores there are today and then there are the big giants in online space. But except for convenience, in fact, if you were to ask me, even that convenience factor is already addressed. We can deliver to the customer in 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Literally almost every city in South India, we are well present except Kerala. So, by and large, we have taken care. In fact, we introduced a concept of if you are on the road and you're running out of your battery power, you could walk into any Sangeeta, irrespective of whether you are a customer or not. You could pick up a power bank and you could charge and drop it off at the next store. Of course, you would have left behind some deposit and you get the deposit refunded. Then all your claims of liquid damage, physical damage, screen protection, etc. Sitting in the comfort of your home on our Sangeeta app, you could do the claims. You don't have to walk into the store for that. Everything gets fulfilled at the consumer convenience. And some collaborations also we did. For example, we did a collaboration with Ather e-bikes. See, today you're forced to do these things. This has nothing to do with COVID or nothing to do with digital. But then every customer is your customer, or your customer could be anywhere. An electric bike customer is made to come to Sangeeta to charge his bike. So we have a collaboration, and as we speak, some stores are already having this facility, and most other stores are getting this facility done. So this is an ongoing thing, and some of these things are what we are already doing.
Thank you, Subhash ji. Yeah. My next question is for Saurabh, and Saurabh, it will be useful if you can take us through the steps that dealers or retailers can undertake at the moment to improve their digital presence, and how will enhanced digital presence help the retailers? Also, how can small retailers with limited funds, leverage digital marketing, because they may not have that kind of, marketing dollars to spend?
Okay, Hitesh, firstly, I think from what we've heard from Mohandeep and Subhashji, I think they've given a lot of, they've given a good peep into, what needs to be done at an OEM level or at dealer or retailer level to, tackle these difficult situations that we're in right now. But from my side, let me say that firstly, I want to just reiterate back to Kaushik's point from our research, which shows that even today, 60% of the consumers prefer the offline channel for their smartphone purchase. So I'd say that the game still favors retailers, right? But to be on top of this game, you got to be present when and where a potential customer wants you. Hence, I think digitizing your storefront is a necessity in these times. We've heard it from the two gentlemen. But if I were to kind of sum it up simply, let me say that you could do it through maybe like a 5-step simple process. Firstly, be discoverable. Hyperlocal engagements through Google My Business, also known as GMB, ensures that you connect with your potential customer when they're looking for you, and provide them with the relevant info like your coordinates, work hours, store pictures, so on and so forth. Number 2, be extensive or be expansive, I would say. Offer a large range through your virtual catalog or showroom. That's exactly what the online marketplaces are doing today, right? Offering a large variety to the potential customer. And our shopping solutions actually enable you to showcase your variety of products, to share inventory listings and redirect users actually to your site or to your store for even the final conversion. Like I said, it's an end-to-end sales solution that is available today for retailers and dealers of all sizes and sorts. Thirdly, I would say, be engaged. One of the key reasons for offline being a preferred channel is the trusted advisory that it has offered for so many years, right? And which basically happens today online through creators. If you think about, the entire generation of people who are going online, watching videos to look at reviews on different smartphones, etc., there is a lot of trust which is there in the creators today online. And I would say the same trust also exists with the retailers offline. So in these remote situations, can the retailer become the creator? By this, I mean that, video calling or, video links today actually give you the opportunity to virtually unbox a smartphone device for your potential consumer on a video link or any such format. Share the, the pros and cons of that particular device. Share your advice or guidance on the right kind of device for them to be able to engage in the right manner and to continue to build on the trusted advisory that remains with the offline retailer or dealer. Fourthly, I would say be efficient. In this, I think we can talk about offering cashless conversions via Google Pay or other such formats, and fulfillment also if possible. And finally, is the after sales space, which also continues to be very important. I would say be in touch. Our research also shows that great after sales service actually leads to a decision on the destination and brand of the next purchase. So if you are in a position to really offer great after sales service through being in touch virtually or digitally, you're creating an aha moment for your customer. There was another question that you had, which was about limited funds. I would say before getting into limited funds, how about leveraging the opportunity that's available free of cost to the dealer and retailer community? Let me go back to some of the products that we offer for free. For example, Google My Business. The GMB listing is actually free. Google Shopping, the listing is free. And like I said, you can use these to share coordinates, store picks, inventory listings, even rating and reviews about your store. When it comes to marketing investments, I think digital's hyper-local nature actually helps ensure zero spillage when you compare it to any other offline marketing platform that's available or is an option today that many retailers or dealers prefer. Then you have enough analytics available to help you understand if your investment worked hard enough for you or not. I think these are all data-driven results and not just estimates. So I would say that a comparison of return on advertising spends will show you that a digitally influenced consumer converted to your product or to your service much faster and at scale. I want to just draw a parallels to another industry over here, which somewhat is kind of similar. I'm talking about the auto industry over here, Hitesh. If you think about it, it is purely offline driven. Touch and feel is very, very important. The guidance of the dealer or the franchise owner plays a very important role in which model that one chooses. And many of these things are kind of very similar to the offline engagement model that we have even on smartphones. Today, I would say that auto as a category has kind of taken the leap, not only from an OEM perspective, but even from a dealer and franchise perspective to adopt digital and be present in the most relevant moment to their consumers. And we have seen some of the leading OEMs or their dealers actually bring down their customer acquisition cost to a third by actually pivoting towards digital. So, like I said, a 5-step process simply to get the hygiene in place. One, secondly, start leveraging the free products that are available. And thirdly, the hyperlocal nature of digital will ensure that you get the right bang for your buck, whatever be the limitation in terms of budgets.
Very well articulated, Saurabh. In fact, your example of the auto also, is so truthful and so realistic. And the 5-point steps or the 5 mantras that you gave, be discoverable, be expansive, be engaged, be efficient, and be in touch. I think these mantras, if any of the retailers, not only the mobile dealers, but any of them can use and succeed and take their business northwards. With this, my next question is to MS. And MS, what is your view on omni-channel and the evolving reverse omni-channel strategy? Example, can we leverage digital assets of the brand stores, etc., to drive footfalls? So your views on that, MS.
See, Hitesh, I think omni-channel is something that is building up and is here to stay. And I think the pandemic is only given it wings. But in any case, it would have built up and it would have continued its march forward, whether pandemic or not. And something that Subhashji said, it's not just about online and offline. It is about product and service. And so, you'll have to be present online, offline with both product and service. And that's what the consumer really requires you to do. Taking just a single view is not going to be enough, be it pandemic or a non-pandemic era. It doesn't really matter. Consumer would want a service and a product together. Consumer would want the convenience of online and the experience of offline from every partner. And I think this is what the real truth is. Let me share you a study that I was reading the other day. our millennial consumers, who are really the driving force in India, they seemingly seek these two antipodal requirements: convenience, because of which they want to go to online, and experience, because of which they want to go to offline. And when I say experience, and like Subhashji was saying, experience is not just showing a product. It is also a lot of services alongside with that. So they are seeking out very, very rich experiences. They are seeking out product stories before they make their choices, which can be delivered only in a offline kind of or can be delivered much better in an offline kind of a context. So I think omni-channel is here to stay. Omni-channel will build up, especially with all the digital penetration that we are seeing. And I think all the retailers will have to kind of have their omni-channel strategy in place, or at least what Saurabh said, the 5 simple steps to make sure that you have your digital footprint and presence of the digital. A lot of work is also being done to create assets. For example, at Samsung, we are creating storefronts and store videos and product videos and walkthroughs for the store that will be available on the digital space. And so, our vision is that when a consumer walks into the store, the consumer should feel, oh, I have been to this store already, because the consumer went to this store on the digital platform. So it's a seamless walkthrough on the digital platform that the consumer will experience. And when the consumer truly comes to the store, doesn't really feel that he's coming to that store for the first time. So yes, I think a lot of assets that will get created in retail. Now, whether you call reverse omni-channel or omni-channel and so on and so forth, I think the important thing is that consumer will enter the journey and exit the journey as per her preference and convenience. And we have to have a structure which allows the consumer to seamlessly do that. And that's something which I think is the future of retail, specifically in a country like India.
Thanks, MS, for that answer. My next question is to Subhashji again. And according to you, Subhashji, what is the most critical criteria in consumer decision making?
Well, what in our generation a decade ago or 2 decades ago used to be word of mouth, a satisfied or a delighted customer recommends an X brand or a model of a mobile phone to be bought, or a particular retailer from where he as your friend is asking you to go and buy. See, so word of mouth carried and much more weightage than all the full page ads that one would see. But the same word of mouth today, in today's millennial generation of buyers, we talk about as YouTube videos, we talk about as unboxing videos, we talk about as and then of course we have Google. We have Google to help us with the local inventory ads. We have Google My Business and all these things. I never touched upon all the while, but Google My Business and local inventory ads of Google is something that we are very prolifically using it, using these to help the business. And for us, in fact, many people ask me, what is the customer loyalty program that Sangeeta runs? I say we don't run any customer loyalty program, because all our customers are loyal is what we believe. Because in an industry like mobile phone, where every day there is a price drop, not a price drop, but few price drops happening, we have taken a route which nobody else in the world has, which is promising the customer 30 days of price drop guarantee, price drop protection. I can't guarantee, Mohandeep will tomorrow morning what models he has decided to drop in Samsung. I wouldn't know, right? This is a very dynamic industry. So, but if you as a customer have bought it from me today or last week or 15 days ago, whatever it is, you have absolute peace of mind, because Sangeeta would reach out to you. In fact, we have data mining at all our 650 plus stores, where the last 30 days customer data is provided to them every time there is a price drop. And in fact, we vigorously chase and follow up with our guys on how many customers have actually come, because it is not you as Hitesh, the customer, coming and inquiring, was there a price drop? Obviously, you will not know. So we as a retailer, Sangeeta, will reach out to you as soon as there is a price drop in the 30-day period. Anytime it happens, we reach out to you and we give you a 7-day window to come and encash that money back. You could, and with no conditions, absolutely. And you could walk into any store. You don't have to go back to the same store. So, so these are things which, there is no tech there per se, but, these are customer stickiness creators. And yes, we have to use the, Google is such a great company and they keep coming out with, all these things to make, as he rightly mentioned, as Saurabh rightly mentioned, still the bulk of the business is happening in the offline. And it is that strong perception that the online players have created over the last 7-8 years, that, or 5-6 years, that online is cheaper. They were cheaper at one point in time. They are no longer cheaper. At least in our business of mobile phones, by and large today, 90% or 95% of the time, the brands are able to control and monitor the pricing of all the players. There is sanity on pricing. There cannot be a differential pricing. So it is that perception which is difficult to erase, but we are trying our best to erase. And it is, using the Google My Business or LIA of Google, etc. And they are coming in very handy to us. See, why do you have to wait for 2 days or 3 days, especially during a Big Billion Day or a Great Indian Sale? I'm sure it will take double the time or triple the time for your delivery to come. Why should you have to wait? It is just in your neighborhood. And when we have 650 stores in 4 states, that means, we are there in a kilometer max or 2 kilometers away for you, the customer. So you could actually, sitting in Jayanagar, for example, in Bangalore, you could check in Jayanagar, in 9th Block store, does Sangeeta carry this particular model, this particular variant, this particular color, is it available? Local inventory ads of Google, help us enable ourselves to showcase that information to the customer. And, these are things which have really made our life easy in spite of all the beeline that people assume are going to online.
Sure. Thanks, Subhashji. That was really insightful. Saurabh, this question is for you. Can you share some examples of how certain brands have transformed digitally and successfully to meet the consumers' demands?
Yeah, sure. I think why not start with Samsung? We recently, and actually MS just spoke about it's uncanny the example that he gave. MS spoke about the Suraksha program. So Samsung typically has over 1,300 branch stores which span across 400 plus cities, and I'm sure this number is more and counting. So when we actually got in touch with the marketing team amidst the entire lockdown period, the situation was a little difficult because obviously the footfalls had gone down tremendously, and at that point in time, Samsung was obviously working towards, bringing the confidence back into the consumer, obviously helping their brand stores, etc., get back on their feet. But one thing which was really, really important to them was ensuring that, it was done with the utmost care taken on hygiene and safety. And I think MS spoke about that. Once that was out of the way, for their flagship program, they actually wanted to look at some trigger points or some, marketing initiatives that could actually help increase the store footfalls. And at that point in time, we tried something known as local campaigns, where we actually, sort of target a certain set or pool of, interested potential consumers, and then we kind of, address them across various stages and across various platforms that are available on Google. It's not agnostic to, you know, only search or only video, whatever. It's literally like a wholesome campaign where, you know, you're kind of reaching out to them the right number of times and the relevant number of times. I believe that it was a very successful initiative. Samsung saw about 10 to 12% increase in overall store footfalls. And I was talking about return on advertising spend. I believe that was in the range of almost 70 to 75x. So for every dollar invested by Samsung, the return on that was almost 75 times. I want to also give a very interesting reverse omni-channel example over here, which was actually executed by Sony Electronics during these COVID times. You know, once again, they had the same problem. The footfalls were down. Electronics is also a space where they see a lot of competition from several brands that are offering products at literally half the cost right now. Sony actually wanted to rebuild this entire business for their brand stores and the brand dealers. So they used a reverse omni-channel format where they actually started to advertise on Google and take the consumer to their websites, where the consumer had the opportunity to go through the catalog and the product offering that Sony had, actually interact with them, engage with them, understand more about the product, complete the conversion on the website itself, which eventually was then fulfilled by the brand stores. So, you know, they ensured that they, you know, maintained the consumer ecosystem that was loyal to Sony. And they also offered the right kind of opportunities to the brand store to continue with business just by way of taking care of fulfillment in these lockdown times. Thirdly, I think there is one more example that I'd like to give. This is something that we did with HP, which is, I think, very, very relevant and something that, you know, OEMs and dealers may want to partner together on. This is known as a co-op marketing program, which is basically a certain sum of money invested by the OEMs and then a certain sum of money invested by the dealers in the overall marketing initiative, where they decided to kind of repivot, or let's say actually they decided to pivot towards digital from the offline opportunities or the offline options that they had been using all this while. It was a more hyper-local, more relevant sort of a targeting campaign, which actually helped them grow their store footfalls and actually get, once again, a ROAS, or the return on advertising spends of anywhere in the range of 40 to 43 in the omni-channel space.
Thanks, Saurabh. My next question is to Mohandeep Singh. How are you supporting your retailers in these times, given a lot of focus is on online? And in addition to that is, what do you expect a retailer to do when it comes to digital basics?
So, Hitesh, I think as the lockdown opened, and somebody mentioned the date on 4th May, the lockdown opened, I think one of the first initiatives that we took to the market, and we were working during the lockdown, sitting at our homes, we were working on creating this. We partnered with a platform called BeeNow, and we brought a large number of our retailers on the BeeNow platform, whereby you know, the retailer can upload the catalog of its products, and consumer can take a look at that catalog, make a choice, make a payment on the BeeNow platform, and the retailer can deliver the product to the home of the consumer. So we created this platform while we were still in lockdown, and as soon as it opened up, we rolled it out, and we were able to enroll tens of thousands of retailers within a span of less than a month, because everybody was eager to get onto a digital journey. So that's just as an example. But I think if I were to put it a little succinctly in brief, I think what Saurabh said, that there are 5 steps to being, you know, to your digital presence and so on and so forth. And we've tried to hold hands of our retailers through this journey. So as we got out of the lockdown and we started the process of unlock, we actually did a basic training program. We got on a Zoom call, and we had Facebook, for example, host that for us. And Facebook spoke to our retail partners that these are the things that they can do to get onto this journey. So, you know, various kinds of actions that we took in terms of first sensitizing the retailers on the fact that there is a change that is required. We have a we have a fantastic platform of Samsung Finance Plus, where the vision is to give finance and consumer finance to people who otherwise are not able to get consumer finance. And we innovated on that platform, and it became, I think it's the only NBFC that can go to a consumer's home and give a consumer loan. So we changed the Samsung Finance Plus platform in a way that the retailer can take that Samsung Finance Plus platform to the home of the consumer and give a consumer loan. So many such examples and many such initiatives that we've taken. And on top of this, there are newer things that we are doing with our exclusive stores. And once we learn there, we will start to expand it into our other retail partners as well. But a lot of work has been done. I think the question that you asked, what is the advice to the retailers? I think that's very clear. I think discoverability is the first and the most important and the basic of the most basic thing. A lot of our retail partners are very capable. Once a consumer reaches out to them, they know how to convert the retailer, they know how to service the retailer, whether the retailer really does step into the store or not. But the problem today they're facing is they're not even discoverable unless they get onto a digital journey, unless they put up a digital storefront and so on and so forth. So I think the first and the foremost is that get on to this digital journey. Reimagine what your brick and mortar strategy and how this digital journey will have to get into that entire thing. I'm sure they will then find out their own way, but the start of the journey is extremely important. I'm happy to share that a lot of our partners have shown this eagerness and they've got onto it. But there are some that still need to get onto it, and they must sooner than later. I think that's the basic advice I would have. That get on and take your first step. The rest is easier.
Thank you, MS. We are coming to the fag end of the webinar, and this is the final question that I would be asking to all of you. This goes to Subhashji. How are you preparing for the future, and are your expansions plans still intact, and how will you review your initiatives?
Well, expansion plans did take a hit. We are focusing lot more on tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. Any town which is 15,000 and above, as per 2011 census, is our target. So 15 to 20,000 and above. So because of restrictions of travel, etc., our first 6 months there has been a hit, but we are working overtime to make up for the loss and ensure that we roll in that 100 plus stores that we normally for the last 3 years we have been able to roll out year on year. So the other part of your question was, how are you preparing for the future? Yes. As Mohandeep mentioned, invest a lot in digital and ride on the tech wave. Sign up, get your associations, get your relationships with with Facebook, with Google, with and everybody going stronger, and strengthen the workforce by giving them the right data that they need to call the customer who has bought, who's just around the time when it is time for him to upgrade, there are many customers who buy the phone on the occasion of their spouse's birthday or their own birthday. So we have those things captured, and just in time, just a couple of days before that is what our guy has to reach up to you. So be there on the consumer's mind in the form of a phone call, in the form of a message at the time that he is planning to buy, and just in time for when his phone is due for an upgrade. These are some of the initiatives. Apart from strengthening them by even providing a WhatsApp video call, as I think that was also one of it came up during the presentation by Google, by Kaushik, that WhatsApp video calls are being encouraged. for example, 650 stores do not have a 650 Samsung promoters, Samsung experts in the stores. The top stores would have the best Samsung promoter. So if you as a customer are standing in another store where there is no Samsung expert, so using technology, using WhatsApp video calls, connecting onto the best expert, the best in amongst the Samsung guys. So he would be able to, make your decision easier and close the sale. These are some of the things which which are already there, but we have to put them to best use. Put them to best use. And I would really like Rai to help. Google should be taken to all the Rai members, and
Sure.
and
Sure.
in the interest of everyone, in the interest of Google, in the interest of my fellow Rai friends, there are many who are probably not putting all these Google initiatives or Google steps that Google have got to reinforce the retailer. And Google, I would believe, is more of a friend to the offline retailer than the online retailer. So all our offline retailers have to be hand-holded by Rai in association with Google.
Thank you, Subhashji. We will do that, and we are in the process. And this question is to MS, expectations from the ecosystem players like Google and RAI. What are your views, for
I think Subhashji is already saying that. I think this kind of a webinar is clearly what one would expect that Google and RAI should continuously do. And of course, step 2, step 3, step 4 would be to even get into more details and really truly help the retailers to get onto their digital journey. And I think the entire ecosystem, the brands, the retailers, organizations like RAI, organizations like Google, and others on the digital platform, we all need to come together to make sure that this journey is seamless and quick.
Okay. Thank you, Mohandip. Last question is for Saurabh. Saurabh, if you were to recommend 2 or 3 things for a small smart shop, smartphone shop owner, what would that be?
Thank you, Hitesh. Like I said earlier, the Indian consumer still prefers offline as a shopping channel. But in these remote times, the consumer expects your presence when they want it. And the only way to be omnipresent is through digital. It is critical to ensure a thriving business and aid consumer experiences today. And, Hitesh, we've seen early adopters are now up the curve and amongst the most successful in the journey. You couldn't probably ask for, better examples than, Samsung and Sangeeta Mobile, who are present with us today. And another critical point is that, while an OEM may activate digitization, even for building better brand salience and not just, sales, but for a retailer, it has one key purpose, which is to close the deal. And so I feel that, a retailer's maturity in the digitization or store digitization has to probably be 2 steps ahead of even the OEMs. So my last advice would be that if you haven't, please start your digital marketing journey now. Google is committed to making this journey simple and useful for you. We would soon be launching a large-scale training program for the retailer community that helps you move up the digital marketing curve and also leverage third-party support. So stay tuned for more on that, and please do participate and encourage your colleagues also to participate with you. From my side, wish you a very happy New Year and a super successful 2021.
Thank you, Saurabh. I'll take that as a closing remark from you. Last closing remarks from Subhashji and Mohandipji also. Subhashji, please. The last closing remarks.
I have done my bit. It is for Rai and Google to take it forward, and it is for OEMs to join, as mentioned earlier. That's it.
Thank you. Mohandipji, what about you?
No, I think first of all, it's been a privilege to be a part of this discussion. So thanks for the invitation. But I think very important, and talking to people like Subhashji gives you the confidence. And then Kaushik today actually enumerated it in data. And something that we already knew in our hearts, that offline retail is here to stay, not just stay, but to thrive. And I think that's very, very important. The only issue that offline retail needs to contend with is how do they embrace the digital journey along with whatever skills that they already possess. And they're very good at it. And let me tell you that it's been very heartwarming and very inspirational for a person like me to see that a lot of my retail partners, when they entered the lockdown around end of March, they were digitally totally unsavvy. And when they got out on the other side of the lockdown on 4th May, they were all raring to go as far as their digital journey is concerned. So I think, and I see that transformation as really the harbinger of great times to come for the offline retail. I think we will transform the offline retail into a omni retail, and we will do very, very successful business going forward. Last comment, thanks to Google and to Rai to have brought in this platform, and I think we should have many more of this. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mohandipji. With this, dear all, we come to the end of this wonderful and insightful webinar project, Go Digital, Grow Business, Winning Customers in the Digital World. I'm sure the insights that you have got from all these esteemed panelists will definitely help your business to go digital and grow as well. I thank Kaushik Das Gupta, Saurabh Kapadia, Mohandip Singh, and Subhash Chandra who have been present today and who have shared their insights with us. Thank you from RAI to all of you, and thank you to all of you who have been a part of this. As Saurabh mentioned, we are going to do another series of another educational series that we are going to come up with together. We'll keep you posted about it, and until we meet for the next time, thank you very much.
Very nice.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.